Hello there folks, and welcome back to another video. I hope you are all doing very well. Look where we are. We find ourselves on a beach. Don't let the sun deceive you. It is freezing cold. And I forgot to put my gloves on again. But we are admiring this wonderful beach here. As you can see. But our main objective today is to head to a place by the name of Uttakleiv Beach, which is really, really fantastic as this lovely loud tractor goes by. But the aim of the game is to head there for the sunset and take some photographs of that wonderful, wonderful beach. So let's make some tracks and get exploring. Well, we have reached our destination for this evening's sunset location, and what a destination it is. It is an absolutely marvelous scene. You know, the main reason why people come here, it's like the dragon's eye. And I'll pop up a picture that I took last year while we were here. It's a super popular kind of photograph, and it's usually the kind of photograph where you see loads of people standing around it. So I'm not too sure how it's going to be now, but I think the aim of the game for me today is to get nice and low, looking at the rocks, using some of this motion in the ocean, as they say, and looking to use that as my foreground, and then ultimately into this colossal backdrop that we see now. The light is moving super duper fast. So I'm going to go down to the water's edge and let's set up our composition and let's see what we can get. So everybody's quite spread out along the beach here, and for good reason. It's a really, really fantastic opportunity to use the rocks and the crashing waves as foreground into the scene. It's a really, really gorgeous scene, but as I say, the light is moving so fast. That's going to be behind that behind that mountain very, very soon. So let's get to shooting and see what magic we can muster. You know, walking on sand is one thing, but walking on snowy sand, yeah, that's a whole other thing. Okay, let's see what we can find.
We start this week's photography collection with this absolutely beautiful scene. I am thrilled with how this image came together. The light, the motion in the water, everything just culminated into such a beautiful scene. This is why photography means so much to me, and this is why it has such an impact on my life. Capturing the golden light as it kisses the sides of the rocks and illuminates that absolutely epic mountain in the background, and combining it with a slow shutter speed to drag out that water and introduce that motion to emphasize the leading lines in between the rocks does nothing but electrify my creativity. I am delighted with this picture.
So we've decided to take a little walk down the beach, hand in hand, see if we can find some foreground a bit closer to the epic mountain here, but the sun is moving fast behind some clouds, so we got to be super quick. We're almost falling into the water, so I better go help. Hold on 1 sec. Well, we have come down the beach a fair bit. As you can see, our tripods are set up here. We were using this wonderful set of rocks as a leading line. God damn, this gimlet. And the backdrop here, as you can see. So we rattled off loads and loads of pictures. Brendan took the brave chance to stand out on the rocks. So you'll see that now in just a second. But it's what a wonderful, wonderful scene. Unfortunately, we made it probably about 20 seconds too late to just catch any kind of light on that peak, but it's still a gorgeous, gorgeous scene. We're going to wait just a bit longer until the sun actually sets, just to see if a bit of this color can be brought out in the sky. But what an absolutely beautiful, beautiful scene, and a wonderful, wonderful end to this absolutely magical day. So let's keep shooting and see what magic we can muster.
While this picture isn't necessarily something I would go bananas over, it's a good lesson and exercise in the importance of location scouting. Wandering down the beach as we did really allowed us to explore the scene deeper and further. And like I mentioned, this particular beach has a very popular photography spot, but being able to look past those is one of the real joys of landscape photography. Sure, get that particular shot if you want to, but then move on, and don't be afraid to move on. And while the light didn't last on the mountain here for us this evening, it was still fun nonetheless. Clambering across the rocks, photographing Brennan as he almost fell into the water was a good laugh, and one that I would absolutely cherish. And again, slowing down that shutter speed to emphasize movement in the water really helps draw the eye throughout the scene. A possible composition for next time, and one to keep in the bag. So, fingers crossed, we get to go back.
So now the hunt is on. We have come back to the lodge probably for a couple of hours or so, because word around the campfire is, and all of the apps, that the Aurora is happening. So, but the unfortunate thing is that the cloud cover this evening is quite heavy. It's not set to clear up till probably around midnight, but nonetheless, we are going to chill here for a couple of hours. It's now 8 o'clock. We're going to chill out for a couple of hours and then hit the road and see if we can possibly stay out. It's set to clear up probably around midnight, so it'll be a long haul this evening, but hopefully one that'll be absolutely worth all of the effort. So let's take a break and let's get back to it.
You know, I've been super lucky to have seen the Northern Lights a good handful of times now at this stage, and it never ceases to amaze me. This particular evening did nothing but make us all stand in awe at the absolute majesty of what we were witnessing. Such a display, and it only got stronger and stronger. This particular photograph is just simple, and like I just mentioned, there was still some cloud cover, which did slowly start to dissipate. But for me, I really like the fact that there's still a small bit of cloud in the sky, as it just emphasizes a bit more depth to this image. Really love the way that the Northern Lights sweep up through the scene. I was so close to capturing such a perfect heart shape in the Northern Lights. I was, oh my god, a split second too slow. And this picture and the next one are just examples that I wanted to show about how fast they actually move across the sky. They were probably taken within the space of half a second, and as the Northern Lights dances and moves across the sky in the way that it does, no image is the same. Like capturing the ocean, everything is just individual, and that is so wonderful about photographing the Northern Lights. And getting to see them so clearly as we did on this evening was nothing but amazing, and an evening that I will absolutely remember forever. These two pictures represent just moments in time that I am delighted to have been a part of. I wouldn't go crazy about how they turned out in terms of composition, but pointing your camera up at the sky while it illuminates green and has hints of blue and purples, for me it doesn't really matter if the compositions aren't incredibly strong. I am just delighted to be able to photograph such a display of nature.
Well, folks, it is on. This has been probably one of the best photography days I've ever had. I don't know if you can see me all too well, but, and I really don't know if you're going to be able to see that in the background, but holy, it is, it's just incredible. This Northern Lights is just absolutely on fire. I didn't shoot any video here. Got a time lapse though, which I'll pop up on the screen for you now, from the previous beach, and it was absolutely, it was just incredible. I've never seen anything like it before in my life. And but now we're here at Hamnøy, which is this popular scene that we were at the other day. So let's see what we can capture.
So I wonder if the eagle-eyed among you saw the meteor that passed through the frame during that time lapse. I let out a scream of oh my god, and had to wait for the time lapse to finish before I could see if the meteor was caught in the frame, and absolutely overjoyed that it was. Such a display of wonderfulness. I can't believe it. It was so wonderful, and it was just perfect. Everything was just so amazing. So we all know this scene, we've seen it a million times, and in my last video you will have seen this particular scene photographed at sunset. I love this picture, the display of the aurora. I have never seen it like this before. It was absolutely incredible. The blues, oh wow, it was just mind-blowing. Just on a bit of a technical side, this image is a bit of a blend because of the street lamps that are down in the small little village. You have to try and balance those, so capturing a few different exposures is a benefit. You don't have to if you don't want to, but for me, I really felt like it needed that bit of balance, even though there are still some slightly blown out highlights in the street lamps, but that's okay because it only adds to the natural feel to the overall scene. And wow, what an absolute display we had at Hanoi this evening. It was absolutely incredible. And as you would have seen from the time lapse that you just watched, this photograph was captured probably about maybe 4 or 5 minutes before that time lapse. If any of you know how the Northern Lights work, they kind of peak and they trough a little bit, and there was a small bit of downtime between this picture and the time lapse that you just seen. So just something to bear in mind, that sometimes if you arrive at a new location, for instance, it's always worth just to sit and wait, just in case they decide to come back. And this particular night, they really did come back, and wow, what an absolute scene. So I'm super duper happy with how it all turned out.
Well, hello there, folks. I come to you from the very present day with a cautionary tale and an incredibly flowery shirt. I am popping this into the end of the video because I lost files, if you can believe that or not. It happens. So essentially what happened was I came home after this trip, which was great and wonderful. As you're seeing, the video now has been, really fantastic. And I don't know what happened. I had exported everything, backed everything up, and then they all disappeared. So what a total disaster. Thankfully, I was able to recover the video files, which was good. But the last day, the last day and a half of images are gone. I probably could have made another video to include those images, but they're gone. I have video files. I have a really nice time lapse, thankfully, that I had edited and exported, which I'll pop up on the screen for you now, of a lovely sunrise at Newsfjord, which was really great. But in terms of the images, they're gone, and it's what a shame because the light really played ball. So yeah, it would have been a fun one. But nonetheless, these things happen, I suppose. So please back up your files. Make sure they're safe, and just make sure that they're nice and safe. But for now, I am going to get to recording the voiceover for the video that you were just about to watch. Sign off now. So thanks so much for watching, and obviously the usual like and subscribe if you fancy. And welcome to all the new subscribers and to the new people on Instagram that I followed recently. Yay for you guys. I hope you get some value out of this rambling Irishman. And but for now, I will see you guys. A few things planned, lots of stuff to edit, lots of stuff to go through. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Okay, take it easy, everybody. Cheers.